What is up, guys? It is the Sportster Bradley Walker, and welcome to the Walker Report, part of In the Zone Sports Talk Radio, part of NGSC Sportscast. Remember the website, it's ngscsports.com for all your current sports content. The show is sponsored by creatingzenspaces.com, the local choice in St. Petersburg, Florida for house cleaning, organization, decluttering, and pet sitting. It's about finding the peace within you, adding comfort to your life. Remember, guys, Zen Spaces begins with you. Be kind to yourself and one another. We are also sponsored by Garrett's Designer Jewelry and Luxury Accessories. Illuminate your inner self, shatter the trendy norms, and open up your world to a newfound level of confidence and admiration. Garrett's Designer Jewelry and Luxury Accessories. Welcome in, guys. Happy Thursday. Getting closer to the weekend, getting closer to Game 1 of the World Series starts tomorrow night. We will be talking about that this evening. I want to let you guys know that the dinner last night with my friend went well. She will be in contact. This show may have a new sponsor in the near future. And we're also going to be working, my two co-hosts here in the bottom, I'm going to need some information because I'm working an angle to get us business cards. So that's another angle I've been working as well. And Kevin has been in contact with me. I guess, guys, we were going to have to go back. We're going to go and have a call-in feature, the same number that is on the In the Zone Sports Talk Radio. I have to figure out what I did wrong today, and I couldn't get it to work. But, yeah, I'm going to try that again. The last time, if you guys didn't know, was the Rooney Rule show, and that did not go very well. But I will try to let that happen again. Welcome in, guys, my two co-hosts. Gentlemen, good evening.
Good evening.
How's it going, guys?
Okay, there we are. Phew.
It goes
Hey,
well.
I don't mind asking, what happened to your headphones? I was watching Gerald's show. You had headphones on.
Yeah, well, he's got a problem with his audio with that, so or my audio.
That's okay.
I wear the headphones with that. You're fine. I can hear fine. I wear them on my show because I got the same problem, but with your show, it doesn't. You know.
No, I thought it looked cool. I thought maybe I throw my headphones on too, but okay.
Adam, I heard
That's
you,
fine.
but I couldn't see you.
Yeah, I wasn't on cam.
I know. I heard you. I'm like, where are you?
I'm here doing the thing.
Now, Adam's smoking a cigar. He showed me the cigar
Oh, yeah.
before the show started.
I'm not big on cigars,
So
I get
I
like
smoked my
terrible,
first
I
one
get,
when I
like,
was on vacation. So
I get terrible feedback on some shows, so that's why I wear the earphones in. On mine, and when you do
how's
your
everything
own
going
show,
with you guys? Everything going good?
yeah.
Smoke them if you got them.
And since I recovered from COVID, okay, all except for that third eye and that third nipple, that was just terrible. Ugh. Yuck. Just awful. Yeah, and zombies are coming after me too. Well, I mean, I got here for the apocalypse, don't I?
The apocalypse.
Yeah.
She turned me into a newt.
Mm-hmm. I think it's gonna.
It got better.
I think it's actually tomorrow. Actually, all weekend.
It got better.
Nah.
And I guess too, guys. Well, Lou will know too.
Yes.
Every show is going to have intro and outro music and stuff. So, the stuff that I say before the show will be limited, because the intro and outro will say it for me. So that's kind of cool. We'll see how that goes. Yeah, there is. What I'll do, guys, is as soon as I get the music back from Kevin, I will play for you guys. If you don't like it, tell me what can be made differently. Because I'm not.
Is he programming the music?
I don't know, Lou. I heard his music on his show.
Yeah, it's not bad.
It's more of a hip hop theme.
It's all right. It's all right.
I mean, it's.
I will reserve judgment until I hear it.
Yes.
Well, yeah, that's what I mean. I'm gonna have him send it to us, and if I don't approve of it, I'll let you guys listen to it. If you don't approve, then we'll send it back and we'll get it right. When we get it right, we'll get it right. That's
right.
I do appreciate Kevin doing that for everybody. But yeah, that's gonna happen in the near future.
Not now.
Right on.
So And like I said, I'll still be doing the sponsorship thing, but the intro will basically be me introducing. It's going to introduce me and Adam and Lou. It'll introduce all of us without me saying it. So I'll just get sponsorships and stuff after that. But yes, I am in the process of trying to get a new sponsor. So yeah.
Right. Speaking of the spot, where can I get Garrett's Carrots?
Garrett's Carrots, I believe, is a website, my man.
Okay, because you don't say in the ad read.
What do you mean? Oh, I don't say it in the ad reading?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I figured people would just assume that it was Garrett'sCarrots.com. I guess that's just my assumption. People would think that. Yeah, that's. I'll make sure in the future to.
Because when you do the creating Zen spaces, you say you give the website out. So.
Yes, you're right. You're right. Correct.
Yeah.
Yes. Well, the new sponsor may be. She creates her own pet food for both cats and dogs, so that's something.
Okay, cool.
Could probably stretch beyond my area because it can be mailed out via mail. So if you have a pet or know someone that does, interested in the products, like I said, we had a dinner, sit down, everything went well. When she gives me the green light, then you'll hear the sponsorship on here. But until then, I'm still working on that. It went very well last night. So
sweet.
Comment already. Who is commenting already?
Probably Rich.
It says hello. Now, again, guys, we have said in the past, please make sure you put down who you are because we don't know who that is. Who's hello?
Yes. Or what you are.
It could be, I mean, it's a Facebook user, so I don't know who hello is. You got to tell me who you are. Say hello, this is so-and-so.
Right on.
Yeah. If
it's Rich, say hello, it's Rich. If it's Justin, say hello, Justin. If it's Kevin, say hello, Kevin. Because what's happening is, hello, we don't know who it is.
Yeah. I've been meaning to show the tutorial video, but I keep forgetting. So I'll try to get this.
Have to go back and go through the tutorial again.
No, thanks.
Oh, that's Rich. I got the middle finger, so yeah, that's Rich.
Yeah, that's Rich. Yeah.
Okay, that's Rich.
It's Rich.
Yep.
Yeah. Figures.
The middle finger tells me all that I need to know.
Yeah.
So we can start, guys, with motorsports if you want.
You can start there.
I read today that M&M's is ending their 32-year sponsorship with NASCAR.
They are.
Interesting. That's interesting.
They're all getting out.
Mars Candy is ending their sponsorship.
No money in it. Too much money in it.
There you go.
You know, it's a business, right?
I know.
You know, look at all who's gotten out in the last 15 years. Bud got out, Miller got out, DeWalt got out, Home Depot, Lowe's. Everybody's gone. I mean, there's just
NASCAR relies on their sponsorships, right, to live, right?
Right. That's why
actually the drivers rely on the sponsorships.
That's why everybody it's the lifeblood of NASCAR is sponsorship. And you know, there's just not enough return on investment when you look at the bottom line.
Exactly.
And the thing about it is like, especially with a driver as polarizing as Kyle Busch. You know, when you have a top, you know, as good as Kyle Busch is, he's not popular, right? And so when you have a consumer product like candy, and you have half or more of the fan base refusing to buy your product because they sponsor a driver that's not popular, you know, you're not going to be able to recoup the money that you're investing on that driver. You know, I ballpark $10 to $15 million a year, easy, and there's just not enough. They're just not selling enough candy to justify spending that kind of money anymore.
Well, I still, and you correct me if I'm wrong, I know it was 2 years ago, but I think there's still companies out there that are recovering from COVID because they lost a lot of sales during COVID. And a lot of them, you know, hey, we're going to continue to go what we're doing. And the CEOs of those companies now are like, yeah, you know what? Maybe we shouldn't have done that. Maybe we should have backed off a little bit. And now some of these companies like
They're just getting out.
they have to drop out of any extra spending within their company to, so yeah.
To protect the bottom line. I mean, and
Yeah.
I just think that the fact that you see so many consumer brands getting, like, Tide got out. Like, Tide had been in forever.
Yeah.
They got out in, like, 2012. Lowe's left in 2016. Home Depot left in 2012. I mean, and now, not to say that there aren't new brands coming in. Like, Craftsman's been on Mahindra, Gear Wrench. We got some new companies coming in, new blood. But the thing about it is like, if you can't justify spending that kind of money on a driver or a team, if you're not seeing results, and it's not just product sales, but it's merchandise. If 18 hats, jackets, shirts, if die casts and decals aren't selling, you just can't afford to spend that kind of money and recoup what you're spending on it. And NASCAR is dying.
Yeah.
It's
well,
that's
yeah.
Well, and then the problem is kind of like, it's what I've been saying. I'm falling down. It's what I've been saying about sports in general over the last 20 years. The only one that's gotten it right is the NFL. Still falling down.
Yeah.
The NFL is the only ones that have gotten it right. See, the NFL, they invested in everyone. No matter what market you're in, whether you were an Indianapolis Colts fan or not, you knew who Peyton Manning was. And they invested in everybody. They promoted everybody, and they continue. So in the 80s, it was Montana and Elway. In the 90s, it was Aikman and Favre and Emmitt Smith and Jerry Rice. And in the 2000s, it was Peyton Manning and Tom Brady. And now you've got Josh Allen and Patrick Mahomes. And the reason why they've pushed them guys to the front is because of the fact that in football, your stars age out so quickly. And in other sports, you look how long it took the NBA to recover from Jordan leaving. The NHL has never gotten back to where it was before Gretzky or during Gretzky, because they didn't invest in their other stars, and they invested in Crosby and Ovechkin, and I guess and NASCAR didn't have anyone other than Dale Sr., right? Their big draw was Dale Sr. And when he goes away, there isn't another star, there isn't a group of stars that are able to pick up and carry the torch. And that's what the NFL has done so well over the last 40 years. It's always having that next crop of guys coming in. And they promoted college football as big as it is because of the fact that it's a direct pipeline to the NFL. We sit here on Saturdays and we discuss college football because we want to see those guys come to play for our favorite NFL team. The NFL and the college football are married at the hip, right?
Yes.
Of course they can. I mean, it's any given Saturday.
Can they? Yes. Will they? That's in the story.
Probably not. No. And so think about the fact that NASCAR over the last 20 years hasn't really developed any new stars, any mainstream trend-setting out there being a face for the sport. And NASCAR doesn't have franchises like other sports do, right? Like, in your stick and ball sports, you have a fan of the Red Wings or the Yankees or the Dodgers.
Yep.
They know who the other guys in their favorite sport are, right? They know
Okay.
But when in NASCAR, you have Chase Elliott fans, and that's it. You know, if Chase Elliott isn't leading, winning, being competitive, I don't care. You know, if you're a Joey Logano fan and he's running 25th, you know, 2 laps down because he blew a tire and hit the wall, and okay, click something else, because NASCAR is about each individual driver, each individual team, and if your team isn't performing that week, I don't care.
Yeah.
No,
But
I agree
NASCAR
with
is
that.
the stars and just Chase Elliott, though.
And that's the problem is that they haven't developed anyone other than Chase Elliott.
No, I mean they have other drivers then besides him.
I mean, but they haven't developed anyone. They haven't promoted anyone. There's no everyday guy, right?
yeah. Okay.
They're all super. They're all mega rich playboys, and to use the term loosely, they're not like, but they're not relatable to the average NASCAR fan, right? They all come from. Look at all the stars that come from money. Outside of like maybe your Ross Chastain or Daniel Suarez, but those aren't guys that are who knows those guys that aren't dyed in the wool NASCAR fans that have been watching for that before since the beginning.
Now let me ask you a question, Adam. You know that Kyle Busch is going to be driving for RCR next year?
Correct.
Who do you think is going to become the primary sponsor on that number 18 now?
On the 18, probably Monster.
And who will be driving it?
Probably Ty Gibbs.
I can see that.
Okay.
And I think Ty Gibbs gets the 18 next year, and John Hunter gets the 18 or the 54.
And what do you think Tyler Reddick's going to end up?
Oh, Tyler Reddick's already confirmed to the 23 next year, or 45, whatever.
23 for 2311 Racing.
Yeah, 2311. Yeah.
So
they bought out his contract.
What's going to happen to Bubba Wallace?
Bubba Wallace will be in the other one, the 20. I think they'll probably go back number swap back to 23. Bubba Wallace will be in the 23, and Tyler Reddick will be in the 45.
Okay, I can see that.
Because Kurt had to retire.
That's a good question. That's a good question, Brad. What do we think about the trade of James Robinson?
We'll get to that in due time. Oh, in good time.
They're in Martinsville, right? This week. That's
correct.
Where the race is. Okay.
Last one.
This is it. This is the last one.
This is the last of the round of 8.
Okay. Then it narrows it down to 4.
Then it narrows it down to 4, and we go to Phoenix for the finale next weekend. Championship weekend.
And the other thing, guys, is it looks like Hamilton signed an F1 contract with Mercedes. Did you guys hear about that?
I hadn't heard that, but not surprising.
Yeah, he plans on signing another contract, but he's also pushing for female racers in F1.
Yeah.
Pushing for greater diversity in F1. So,
well, if they can got the talent, let's give them a ride.
Why not? I agree with that. Why not?
Yeah, I don't have any. I think Hailie Deegan is probably going to move up to Xfinity next year and run the 07.
Well,
and
Hailie Deegan's already in Infinity running the 07.
Yeah, that was a one-off. And so that they just put her in that car at Texas, I think it was. I don't remember offhand. As a one-off to let her get some experience, and she's signed with Ford. She has a Ford exclusive contract. DGR Crossley is becoming a Toyota team next year, so the assumption is that she's going to go run in Xfinity in the 07 car. It'll be a Stewart-Haas satellite team.
Cool.
Quick, I saw something, Lou. You it looks like Truly Hard Seltzer is going to have a partnership with U.S. Women's Soccer or U.S. Soccer. Did you hear about that?
I didn't get a chance to see that article, but I like it.
Yeah, that's what it says. It says the U.S. Soccer Federation and Truly Hard Seltzer commit to a multi-year partnership focused on elevating fan experiences in soccer.
I like it.
That's dope. Yep.
Isn't that your drink of choice?
Well, the seltzer is my drink of choice, so any brand will do.
I don't like seltzer either, so.
I do.
I saw Gerald shaking his head over there.
Nah,
Oh, he don't like it. Okay.
nah.
I'm not a big fan of seltzers. I'm a whiskey guy. Give me a glass of whiskey.
Give me my sweet tea and my root beer,
Okay.
and I'm happy.
And a shot of Captain.
I've had one plasma.
If I had the money, I would go get some Captain. But right now, me and the Captain ain't seeing eye to eye because he don't like my pockets.
Pocketbook's a little thin right now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
A little thin. You pull up my pockets and dust balls and moths come out.
They two robbers broke in my house. I laughed and helped them look for money.
You open my wallet, and my wallet would be like, "Feed me, feed me, feed." Okay, I need to quit with the dad jokes here.
Yeah, that's my job.
Aren't those grandpa jokes now?
Adam,
Next.
if we want on live air right now,
Don't you have a grandkid now? Don't you? Aren't those,
That is true, right? I mean, he does have.
Yeah.
aren't those grandpa jokes, granddad jokes now?
and she
No, that wasn't. No, that was actually because you're a granddad now. That's what that was.
Right.
She is just so cute, y'all.
Is she home yet? Did she make it home yet?
I think so. I haven't heard from my son yet, but I need to call and check.
Okay.
Well, we wish her all the best.
Yes.
The Bucks got a muffed punt and then held the Ravens to a field goal.
All right.
Oh, Ravens.
I'm still on Tampa.
Yeah.
Surprised me, Brad hadn't kicked me off the show for saying that yet.
3, 2.
Hey, everyone's got an opinion.
I just got to give you a hard time, Brad.
Yeah.
Well, trust me, I'll be honest with you. I'm hoping one day to be in that stadium for a pro game, in the press box.
Right.
Yeah, that'd be fun.
So
I would love
to college. I love to be there for a pro game someday. So
I would love to be go to the 40 acres down here in the press box just for one game.
As a credentialed member of the media, that would be dope.
Gerald, you did tell Kevin that, right?
Yeah,
he's trying to get. Okay, cool. I hope it happens because, trust me, for someone who's done it for 5 years and has been able to go to multiple things, it is a very cool experience. Even if you only get to do it one time, it's a very cool experience.
That's all I want to do is just do it one time, so that way I can sit there and say, "Hey, I was in a press box. I was a member of the media
I did get that myself.
for one game."
Yeah, that'd be cool.
Maybe
It's a
two.
very
That
cool
way,
experience.
because I don't know if they do it, but don't they give you like a media pass that you can wear around your neck,
That is correct,
Yeah,
sir.
yeah.
and you get to keep that after you leave the game?
Correct.
Don't you?
And it depends on if you got a single game credential or you got a season credential. The one that I wear is for the season. So I don't take mine. I mean, I take mine. I get it the first game and then I wear it all the way to the end of the season. And then when the season's over, then I got to get a new one next year. So,
But you don't have to give it back, I think is what Gerald was asking.
no, you don't give it back. They're
I
usually,
gotta get myself in on this.
yeah, they're usually, if it's a single game one, you will never give them back, even if it was a season one. No, because they have your name on them. So I can't really reach one at the immediate moment. Hang on just a second, guys. Let me show you one that I have. This is from the Outback Bowl last year. Nope, it's not going to let me get it because I have my lights wrapped around it. Okay, never mind. I wrapped the lights around the microphone. But no,
I saw that. It looked dope.
Thank you. I'm looking at it now, and it's going through the sequence of the lights changing colors. I wish I had a camera aiming further back from me so you could see everything but I'll figure that out later on.
Right. Well, when we hit the big time, we'll have a studio to be all right.
I've seen a picture
Yeah,
of
it sounds
it
good.
when you were standing far. You were standing back from it, and you took a picture of it, and you posted it. I've seen
Yes.
that picture.
Yeah,
Yeah, that was really cool.
That's
That was
that's
blue.
a nice little studio setup.
So we can talk about boxing. It looks like Le'Veon Bell is going to get his first fight. I don't know if you guys
Oh,
about that, but he plans for his pro boxing career. Excuse me, his pro boxing career. That's interesting. So he leaves football and joins the ranks of retired NFL players who. Didn't Greg Hardy is in UFC, right? Didn't he go to UFC?
yeah.
He's still in UFC, right? As far as I know, he's still in his.
As far as I know, but I believe he got stomped in his first match, if I remember right.
Right.
Well, there's a boxing match coming up between Jake Paul and Anderson Silva. So another
Correct.
UFC star is, and I guess there are UFC vets. Same Alvey says they're garbage. Claims he scared off Jake Paul after sparring with his brother Logan. So he says that the Logan brothers are garbage, and that's a fine to have an opinion. But until you beat them, you have no.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not worried about a UFC fighter coming to attack me, but I'm just saying until you.
You know, my thing about it, is that I've never heard anyone actually wanting to fight the Pauls, right?
True.
My thing is like if you're so big and bold, then take them on, right? If you have all this chutzpah, all this bravado, right, and you're so dead set on them being terrible, well then go out and challenge them to a fight. Challenge them to a fight, and make them put up or shut up. Say I got the contract right here. Have your lawyers draft the contract. Let's do it in Vegas. Let's do it at the MGM, and it's $100,000 for each of us, plus gates and whatever. All your standard contract stipulations, and say all we need is Jake Paul or Logan Paul or Paul Walker's signature, whatever. Pick a Paul and fight him, or otherwise shut up. Because if you're not going to get out there and actually make them make a choice, if you're not actually going to be like, hey, I want this fight. Because as far as I'm concerned, nobody wants that fight. They want to talk all the junk about the Pauls. They want to make the Pauls look like wusses. And nobody's out there actually challenging them to a fight because I haven't heard it.
I haven't either. Usually it's them going after whoever they challenge them.
Yeah.
Starting on social media. They'll start on social media, then
they start beef. They start beef. They talk junk. I'm all right. And yet no one's out there going, you know what? I'll take that fight.
Yeah.
And then like except for like your these scrubs and washed up has-beens like Ben Askren, he takes that fight, gets beat, gets his ass handed to him, and it's like, well, if you're so gung-ho on them being terrible, step in the ring. Because otherwise, I think you're scared. Because that's what it sounds like to me. It sounds like you think that you can't go. That you don't want that fight.
Yeah. No, I agree with you. I think here's my opinion too. I think even if they do get beat, it's not going to shut them up.
No, obviously not.
If anything, what's going to happen is it's going to motivate them to have more fights to prove everybody wrong.
Right? And I mean, I think that even if they do lose, even if Jake loses to Anderson, and I'm sure it'll be an exhibition, it'll be an 8-round exhibition where it probably won't actually, it won't count towards either record. But if he puts on a good show against Anderson Silva, all it's going to do is motivate him to to talk more junk.
Yeah.
And that's all they've done their entire careers, from their start on Vine to their YouTube channels and their move into boxing and WWE and wrestling. They're shit talkers. All they do is talk shit.
Yep.
They do.
And
But see, the funny thing about them is, though, they should.
it puts butts in seats.
They can back.
It
their
puts
shit.
butts in seats.
That's true.
It puts butts in seats. They get so many views on their social media.
Yes.
And they get their fights all sell out. Logan's a huge draw in the in the WWE. Jake always does well when he goes out and fights. They're a draw.
What are they? They have what? 20 million, 30 million followers on YouTube.
Between the two of them, about 30, 35 million.
Yeah, I was gonna say that. I know they're up there. They're one of the highest. Up in that upper echelon of like YouTube royalty, if you want to call it.
Right. They're top grossers. They're top earners, and they make people money. That's the thing, is they make people money.
Well, you were
all
just
they
talking
do is
about
make people.
and I think he took that fight for a payday. I think he knew he was going to get his ass kicked. He just took the money for a payday.
Right. I mean, and that's what as a fighter, that's what you do. You take a fight.
Yeah.
If you're a fighter, you fight. If you're a hockey player, you play hockey. If you're a race car driver, you drive cars. If you're a football player, you play football. If you're a fighter, you take fights. I mean, this is not a novel concept.
No. Not at all.
And it's.
Go ahead.
I'd love to hear somebody. You prove me wrong. Prove me wrong. Show me the evidence. Bring your receipts. Spill the tea. Tell me I'm wrong.
Yeah. Real quick, I wrote an article about mental health in UFC. There was a fighter who had lost a friend before a weigh-in. I read an article today. The Bucks just got a touchdown. Urion Hall explains working through suicidal thoughts after his UFC exit. So again, at the end of the day, guys, and everyone out there, just because these guys are athletes, they're human beings. Remember that. They're not robots. Everyone has mental health issues some way or another. None of us are all. We have down times.
We're all touched in the head.
Right. We all exactly. So we all have emotional days and emotional events that happen to us.
Keep your gloves up. Obey my commands at all times and protect yourself.
Yep.
Thank you, Mills Lane.
Yep. So again, I mean that's something.
See, I'm glad you brought that up.
I think it's something that needs to be more focused upon, Gerald, a lot in the country, just overall. Not so much with athletes, with everybody.
Yes.
It's an issue that has never been. They talk about this issue and that issue. No one's talking about mental health in the world.
Mm-hmm.
With somebody like that deals with mental health on a daily basis, with bipolar, it is hard to deal with some days.
Yes.
And also I want to get something straight here. I want to set the stereotype straight. Okay, right now. If you don't mind me doing this, Brad.
All right, Gerald, go ahead.
People with bipolar are not different. We are not different. We want to be treated just like a normal person. No, Don't say, "Oh, well, I feel sorry because you have bipolar." We don't want to hear that. We want to be treated normally.
Yep.
Same with me. With my condition, even though it's not bipolar or whatnot, but
So,
we're all human, and I want people to see me. I want people to see something that's past. Like I use a walker when I want people to see past that. That's all I ask. Don't treat me like you can't catch what I have. I'm not contagious, people.
Exactly. Same with me. I'm not contagious.
Right.
It's just a mental illness.
Respect.
Some are born with it. Some get it later on in life.
At the end of the day, it's just respect each other.
Yeah.
Just respect each other. Be kind to yourself and one another.
Just like with me.
That's my sponsorship.
I may not come off being the smartest guy when it comes to reading something, but if you put it in my hands, and tell me, hey, I need this repaired, I can sit there and take it apart with my hands and put it back together, and it works. Just like with a lawnmower. You know, I can take those things. Somebody bring me one that's not working, I can get it running. But if you give me a book and say, "Hey, I need you to follow the instructions in this book," I look at the book, toss the book away.
And I'm the other way around. I'm not very good with my hands. I mean, I like to tinker, but I know my limits, right? And I'm very good with books. I'm very good with instructions. You give me instructions, I'll follow them to the letter. You know, if I can build the crap out of some IKEA furniture.
You know, see that again. That's what I'm saying. People with mental illness, you know,
Just treat us normal.
Yeah.
you know, even though we are wired strangely, you know, we can still accomplish things in life.
Absolutely.
Of course.
And if you hear my wife, she said nobody's normal.
Oh no, that's what I just said.
I
That's what I
agree.
just said. That's what I just said. No
I agree.
one's normal. We all have issues. We all have
Yeah.
issues that we deal with every day.
And I was that no ones they come.
You're
Look
looking
my
at
wife.
me. You're looking at a guy who I would say when I was in my teenage years, I wouldn't be doing this. I'd be scared
Right.
shitless right now talking to you
You know,
guys.
look at my wife. She has cerebral palsy. She's confined to a wheelchair when we have to go out. But she don't let that stop her.
No.
That's a good thing. Some people do. That's a good thing that she doesn't
You
let
know,
her.
and I keep telling her, slow down, take your time. And it seems like the more I tell her to do that, the faster she gets.
She goes.
Yeah.
That's right. The way it should be.
So I got to a point now where, you know, I don't even say anything. If she just gets going 100 miles an hour, I'm just like, Gerald,
Yeah.
shut up. Don't say nothing. Just let it go.
Just slow down when she's ready.
Yep.
You know, just like one day she was doing something, had problems with it, and I said, "Do you need help?" She goes, "If I need help, I ask you." I said, "Okay,
Mm-hmm.
okay,
Yep.
okay.
Yes, ma'am.
Right?
Yes, ma'am.
I won't say nothing." But she's part Italian and Norwegian, and the Italians are hard headed.
Yes, we are.
Feisty. Feisty.
We are.
Tell her that I love her food. I'm a huge Italian food fan. I love
She won't
Italian
even go
food.
to the doctor for a yearly checkup.
I say I don't need to go unless I'm really, really ill.
No, don't do that because I'm one of those people that believe that too, and my mom died. So I don't want to hear that crap because I wasn't going either. And I go every year, even though I don't have any issues. I
Right.
lost my mother
Yeah.
to that. My mother never went to the doctor, and she's gone. And had she gone, I don't know if she'd still be here, but there's a good
But it can't
chance.
hurt to go get checked.
So I go every year and get my
There's a
physical.
pretty good chance that your mom still may be here if she went to the doctor.
That's right. There's a good
So
chance.
even if the doctor
Correct.
don't find nothing, at least you went and had them.
Yeah.
Had them.
You know.
Because you know if they find like diabetes or bad heart, they can treat it.
Now,
Like when
when I'm
they
younger,
wait
and when it, yep, correct.
You know, you go out and have a heart attack, then you'd be like, oh well, I should have went and had that checked out before this happened.
Yep.
People always wait to the last minute to go get checked out.
So that's why I go every year because you know there's diabetes, congestive heart failure on my dad's side of the family.
Oh,
I go in March, so that's my next physical.
So
Coming
that's
up
why
in a
that's
heartbeat.
why I go
Oh, I'm
every
gonna
year.
be going back.
That's why I go every year.
Yep.
So that way, if they happen to find, you know, like, hey, you got congestive heart failure or your heart's not pumping right, we're gonna start you
We
on
can get it fixed and
Get it fixed now.
Yeah.
Yep.
because I want to be around to see my grandbaby start school.
There you see. There's a goal right there, Gerald. See, that's
finish
the goal.
school.
Finish school. How about that?
Well, right now, take it one step at a time. Start school. Then,
See, that was what my mom always said. I want to be here to see my niece, her granddaughter graduate high school. Well, she's not here to see that.
Yeah.
She didn't take care of
You're never too young to take your health seriously. Mental, physical.
As soon as
You know,
she died, bud, that was the first thing I said to myself is, you know, I had a physical since I was 18. And I started going
Right.
a couple years ago. And I asked the doctor straight up, hey, I'm afraid of diabetes. Well, the good news is I'm not going to get it unless I go off the
So-
rails as far as eating. So that's
So,
a
like,
good thing
stop
to hear him say that.
That brings up another point. I went in for 1 year for a checkup.
Mhm.
And I mean, my doctor, he checks everything from the Rudy to the Tootie and in between. And they called me one day. I'm thinking, okay, maybe this is a good report from the labs. They're telling me everything is where it should be.
Kosher.
And his nurse says everything came back except your AC1.
Mm.
Determines if you get diabetes or not.
Oh,
She goes,
right.
it's elevated just a little. But watch that.
Make some dietary changes and you'll be all right.
Yeah, because she said as of right now, he diagnosed you as being pre-diabetic. My A1C was 6.9, and he wanted it at 5.1. So it was elevated just a little, and he didn't like that 6.9 number.
I have to lose weight. That's what my doctor wants me to do. Doesn't
Yeah.
want me to be where I'm at right now as I get into my 40s, which I'll be 40 next year. He wants to get everything down before I turn 40.
You can ask my wife. She went back there with me a couple times when I seen him, and my doctor's not the type that he's going to sit there and bullshit with you. He's going to come
That's a
out and
good
tell you. He's going to
That's
come
a
out and
good
tell you the way it's going to be.
Which you should.
That's a good thing. Because a lot of
No,
doctors
he even told me, he goes,
push medication on you, and then you don't need it, but they do it anyway because they get
He
kickbacks
told-
from pharmaceutical companies.
he told me, he goes, if you don't lose weight, it's not going to be healthy for you.
Yep. See,
He
that's a
goes,
good
"You're-"
thing.
he says, you're 5'8". You should be around 190 to 200 pounds. Last time I was weighed, I was at 311. So I need to lose at least 100 to
Oh,
200
there's
pounds.
Mike Evans. He's on my roommate's fantasy team, so I cheer for Mike Evans. Speaking of the WWE, you guys were just talking about that. Two things that I saw, or three things. One, Kevin Nash's son passed away. I don't know if you guys heard that.
No, I
Talked
didn't.
about it on a pod. Yeah. He died after having a seizure. Yeah. After he quit drinking, he quit drinking, and he had a seizure and passed away.
Wow.
He came out and was talking about that on a podcast. The Hell in the Cell pay-per-view is no longer WWE. Triple H has ruled that, that pay-per-view is no longer going to be a WWE pay-per-view.
And no longer were day one. They canceled day one too.
It's been that pay-per-view now will be in New Japan or in the Kingdom, which joins the AEW. So that's going to be pay-per-view that they might take on. And the other thing is The Rock's daughter previewed in NXT. I don't know if you saw that or not, but
I did.
she's now there. So now she's now correct me if I'm wrong. She would be fourth generation wrestler, correct?
Yeah.
Right.
Correct. Okay, so she's a fourth generation wrestler. Okay. I saw that article and I wanted to bring that up that she debuted, and then of course it looks like Sasha Banks and Naomi are both back in WWE after they left for, I don't know if it was how they were being treated or whatever happened, but yeah.
But
Okay, I need to issue a quick correction here. It wasn't Kevin Nash. It was Kevin Nash's son.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to say Kevin Nash. I meant Kevin Nash's son is the one who passed away.
Okay.
Rumors that Naomi would join up with the Bloodline.
Well, she's married to
Interesting.
the Usos, so that would make sense.
Yeah, I don't remember if she's married to Jay or Jimmy, but she's married to one of them.
She's married to one of them. Yeah.
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 I'm sorry that I didn't mean to think Kevin Nash died. No, Kevin Nash.
I was like, what the? That would have been breaking news. I was like, so I looked it up real quick and I checked his Wikipedia because that's where I go for my celebrity death news. And I'm like, he was born in Detroit and he's still very much alive.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
And I was like,
think if Kevin Nash had passed away, he'd be up there with Scott Hall right now.
Right.
Will be reunited.
Right. I'm like, so I'm like looking, I'm like trying to figure out what you were talking about. I'm like, oh, it was his son. Okay, yeah, his son quit
Yeah.
alcohol cold turkey and
26 years old too.
yeah,
That's
26 years old.
That's what my
young.
doctor's afraid about with me with my dipping in the tobacco. He told me, it's a good idea to quit, but he goes, you've been doing it so long. If you quit cold turkey, it could kill you.
Right. Wean yourself off. That's what I've been trying to do over the last couple of weeks is wean myself down so that I can actually quit. It's worked pretty well.
Well, I go through a can in 2 days. I go through a can every 2 days. That's way too much.
That's
I've
rough.
never done tobacco. I'm doing what Adam's doing now, and I keep
Just a little.
I have one here, one there, and you shouldn't do that. You shouldn't do that. I don't chew tobacco though.
But I slow down on my drinking though.
I don't know if you can see these, but these are I don't know if you like coffee or not, Gerald, but these have really helped me. It's called Grinds.
Yeah.
And they're just coffee pouches. They're nicotine and tobacco free. And it's just coffee, and this is vanilla flavor. And I really like these. Have really helped me be able to get off the nicotine.
So
I just smoked.
There's a
Adam,
future
send me
sponsor.
the link. Send me the link to that.
I can send you the link to that. Not a problem. So this is really really helped me cut down on. I was doing these. These are. Problem is these are really good. They're really tasty. They're expensive, but they're really tasty. And so they the grinds are like 5 something for 18 pouches, but one will last me pretty much all day.
Mm.
So I just pop one in, then they're tobacco and nicotine free, so you can just swallow them. You don't have to spit or anything because they're just coffee. It's just coffee. And so I'm down to a pipe full a day and a cigar every 2 weeks at this point, or maybe 2 because I decided that I needed a second one today.
Yeah, but was he dipping or smoking?
Were you dipping or smoking when you started?
I was these were tobacco-free nicotine pouches. I was smoking. I was dipping.
Before you started that, were you smoking or what?
So these were a nicotine, tobacco-free nicotine alternative to like dip, and they were just like what snus is?
What?
Snus.
Yeah.
Tobacco pouches. So these were tobacco-free nicotine pouches, and I was doing these. I've done these for like 2 years, and I've pretty much come off of those completely, and switched into these. And I'll smoke a pipe full on my way to work, like 15 minutes, and I'm good the rest of the day. That's all I need. And then and these are the best alternative I've ever found to nicotine.
No, but what I was asking though, did you smoke before you started the nicotine free? Or dipping before you started the nicotine free?
I did, yeah. And then I went to these are caffeine. They're caffeine pouches, so they're just coffee, and they're nicotine and tobacco free. And let's see if I can zoom in here.
Oh yeah, I seen it. Just send me the link and I check it out.
Yeah, and because these are 3 milligrams of nicotine, and I was using these, and I was using a couple other products, and I found that I was actually doing more. I could go through a can of these in a day, no problem. And with these, I basically need one a day, and I'm good. So like this will last me like a week.
Huh? Okay. Yeah, I'll check into that.
And I'll get you the link to that tonight. They're like you can buy them bulk online for like you get like 18 cans for like $40 online. They ship right to your house. So
there you go, guys. See, we're solving tobacco problems right here on the air.
we're solving we're going to change the world. We're going to fix the world one.
We're talking sports and we're changing the
Well,
world.
I mean, look at what happened to Tony Gwynn. Look at what happened to Terry Francona.
Yeah.
I mean, they're perfect examples of people that chewed.
Jim Leland.
I've never done that. Cigars. I've started. first time.
Yeah.
So it won't be.
Have you even finished that first one yet?
I did. I finally did finish it. Yes. So I'm gonna go because see, I'm not too far from Tampa. Tampa's a Cuban population, so I'm gonna go over and get some hand rolled ones.
There you go.
I would
the
love,
best.
I would love a road hand Cuban right about now.
Yeah.
Yeah, no kidding. But no.
I'll tell you, if we ever make it big,
Not
Gerald,
that
we ever
way,
make it
Adam.
big. The
Not
day we
that
make
way.
it big, I'm
No,
gonna mail
no.
you guys each one, and we'll let it up all at the same time on the show.
There you go.
Oh yeah.
And I gotta be outside. I can't do it inside. I gotta be outside.
Yeah, that's why I'm on the car tonight. So
Yeah, can't be.
My wife,
Well,
my wife
Lou
loves
doesn't
the smell of
smoke them, so we'll
cigars.
have to give something to Lou differently. But yeah, it'll be something like that.
bubblegum. We'll get him a bubblegum cigar.
There you go. There you go.
No,
Absolutely.
she loves the smell of cigars.
Not me too. Okay, so let's get back into it. We've kind of wandered off, so let's see.
Right.
We'll go to the NBA. I know the season just started. Obviously, we're fresh
And it's over.
and it's over.
Yeah.
Because this is Lou's topic. I know he's big on the NBA.
Yeah.
Would you say the three best teams in the East are the Heat, the Bucks, and the Celtics? Would you agree with that?
Unfortunately, yes.
Unfortunately, okay. The Lakers are 0-4. The first time since
But
LeBron's rookie season
No
Yeah.
that a
surprise.
team has started 0-4 that he's on.
As the Pistons, can we just be relegated to the G League at this point? Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
They're what, 1-3?
Yeah. We can call it G League. We can call it
There's
F League. We can
they
call
a
it.
second Lamar Jackson. There's
Can I get a
something.
score update?
It's set 10-3 Bucks.
All right, thank you.
Yep, you're welcome.
I can't. I'm in the car and I'm doing the show, so I can't watch tonight.
No, that's okay. No, I got
Yeah, Chris-
Amazon on. I keep my Amazon membership, so that gets.
There you go.
I gotta get my.
Paid every month, so I-
Yeah, I'll probably catch the end of it when we finish up tonight. But
And Kevin Durant made NBA history. Lou, what did he accomplish that he made history?
I didn't hear that about making history.
Let me pull the article up here. This is from Sports Illustrated. Let me pull it up.
Or was it bounce?
It says Kevin Durant makes NBA history Monday. Oh, he moved into 20th all time on the NBA scoring list in Monday night's game between the Nets and the Grizzlies.
Yeah, that would.
So he's now 20th for all the scoring.
do you think KD is one of the best individual players of all time?
Well, to a certain extent, but he's not. He's not like in the same level as say like Jordan or Magic or Kareem or anything like that. That's
No. But to me, KD is one of the greatest, like just talent, raw talents.
Oh, that's
I
for
agree
sure.
with that.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's
Just
for
pure skill. Like if you were to if you had 5 of the greatest of all time and KD, I think KD would be really one of, like, if we were playing pickup, it was the 4 of us, and you could have 5. KD's got to be one of the first guys you pick, right?
Yes.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think you could put him in the same category as Michael or Magic or Kobe
No.
or anybody like that, but he's definitely a raw. I mean, how about like an Allen Iverson type? Somebody like
Yeah,
that.
definitely. Like just
Raw
pure
talent.
skill, like
Yeah.
unadulterated pure basketball skill. I think what KD suffers is he doesn't have the basketball IQ. The of a Jordan or a, like, he needs pieces around him. He needs great pieces around him to be. He needs the Stephs and the Clays of the world to be.
Yeah, he's got KD there and company there in Brooklyn, which they're not off to the greatest of starts either, if I'm not mistaken.
No.
They're not.
No. It's so early, and it's overreaction Monday after week 1 of the NFL, and it's overreaction. It's overreaction Thursday, and the Lakers are 0-4, and and everybody's ready to push the panic button there in LA. What's wrong with the Lakers? It's like it's early. They go on a 6-game winning streak,
4-4. Come on.
and they're right. All of a sudden they're right back in the heat, in the hunt. And we get to
Go ahead, bud.
I would say we get to Christmas and they're 16 and 12, and everybody's like, oh, okay, I guess the Lakers aren't as bad as we thought they were. Like, let's pump the brakes.
Well, the way they're going right now, they could be out.
Right now, the Mavericks are up 61-50 over Brooklyn at the half.
I got that game already.
And OKC's up 51-48 over the Clippers.
Mm.
The Heat play the Golden State Warriors at 10, and Memphis plays Sacramento also at 10. So those are the 4 NBA games that are scheduled
On the
for
docket for tonight.
Docket for tonight.
Yes.
But I guess the one guy, speaking of the Nets, when is it going to be the time for Ben Simmons to basically not be in the NBA anymore? Is it
Now?
getting to that
How about
point where
tomorrow?
he's starting?
He's gonna
Where he's
have to turn it around
He's a
because
bum.
he's
a bum.
overstayed his welcome.
He's been fouling out more than he's been in games. I mean,
Yeah.
it's
Total loser.
I mean,
He's turned into a bum.
I was going
He
to
is
say,
a
there's
bum.
exactly. He could have been one of the greats too, but I don't know what happened.
Well, he was so overhyped.
Exactly.
Was it a mental
Well,
thing?
what was that? That article from Sporting News, 5, 6, 7 years ago now, had him
Yeah.
as one of the top 50 greatest basketball players. Never even played a minute of base.
Slam Magazine.
Slam Magazine. No,
What a joke.
I apologize for my
I was
Sporting
like,
News
how can you
slander.
get the money in there when it hasn't even played a professional game yet?
Yeah, I'd like to retract my Sporting News slander and redirect it at Slam.
And what has he done since he became a pro? Nothing.
Right. He's been, he's either an all-star or a bum.
An all-star bum.
Yeah,
Yeah, that too.
he brought his welcome in Philadelphia, so now
Right.
he's in Brooklyn. And
So
and
now
then
He's
what
quickly.
he played 2 games last season before sitting on the bench for the rest of the year.
Yeah.
He's quickly wearing out his welcome in Brooklyn,
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
and that's not a fan base that suffers losing.
no. Well, I guess it goes to show that once it's hurt, always it's hurt. So,
True.
I mean, look at when they had. Oh God, this was 20 years ago now, but it was Aaron Carter and Jason Kidd and those that they were a perennial playoff team.
Yeah.
Year in and year out.
Did they make it to the finals against the Lakers?
San Antonio, right? 2000.
So I mean, I know the Nets were in the finals against somebody. You may have been.
Maybe it was it might have been the Lakers. It might have been the Lakers in 2000.
and they got clobbered.
Because Jason Kidd was still with the Nets when that happened. I remember.
Yes.
I remember
Correct.
that team. That was the second year of Kobe, Shaq. One of those years, because I think
Second
Shaq
year.
and Kobe were still on the Lakers before Shaq left to go to Miami. Or no, yeah.
Yeah, Miami.
But yeah, that's. I mean, again, it's still really, really early in
Mhm.
the NBA to discuss anything like that. But since we're on tomorrow is Game 1 of the World Series between the Astros and the Philadelphia Phillies.
Yeah.
Who saw that coming?
Yeah, I
Nobody
think
saw that coming.
baseball needed a
Maybe
playoffs like
after.
we've had. I'm gonna ask you guys, what is your prediction? How many games do you think it's gonna go? Who's gonna win? I'll leave that. And then I'll give you my opinion, but I'll let you guys go first.
Stros in 6.
Stros in 6, okay?
Based on just because that's what I'm feeling. I don't know. I really haven't followed. I know the Astros are a good team. They've got dominant pitching. They can hit. I don't know too much about the Phillies. I kind of feel like they were Cinderella this year. And as it were, I think it's midnight Cinderella.
It's actually 12:01.
Mm.
Well, I went with Dusty Baker being from Austin,
It's from Riverside.
and he went to the same high school that my mom went to. You, I want to say Houston in 5.
Houston in 5.
No, take it back. Houston in 6.
6, okay.
I don't think Philly's got that much of a talented lineup to get to the Astros. I'm looking at a sweep, but if Philly's gonna win one, they'll be lucky. So it's likely gonna be 5, but I wouldn't be surprised if it is a sweep.
I was thinking 5 off the rip, but 6 is good too.
Well, 6 is average.
Right. I think, I don't know. It's baseball. Any given night, and the Astros can go cold. The Astros could go cold and Philly, steal one in Houston, and it's a series.
If they're gonna do that, they're gonna have to steal one in Houston.
I'm going to go out on a limb. And I'm going to say Philadelphia in 7. Because Philadelphia reminds me a lot of the Atlanta Braves, who no one thought was going to win the World Series last year. And the Phillies, if their bats if the bats can stay hot, like Adam just said, if anybody goes cold, then it's over. I mean, the Astros have enough talent to sweep them in 4 games, and it will be over.
Yeah.
The Phillies have been the Cinderella, as Adam said earlier, the Cinderella. And they remind me a lot of Atlanta last year. No one thought the Braves at the break, or when they had 89 wins. They weren't even one of the top total, win teams a year ago. The Phillies finished with that same kind of record. And for some off the wall reason, everybody that they played in the playoffs, and yes, they knocked the Braves out of the playoffs. They knocked the defending champs out of the playoffs. So, and with the Dodgers not in there, and to me, I think it's going to go at least 6 or 7. But I just have a funny feeling in the back of my mind that it's going to be Philadelphia, and I could be totally wrong. The Astros could win in 4 games, and that's that's what it is. But I really honestly believe that the Phillies have an outside chance of shocking the world, as they say when there's an upset.
Or the little
well, speaking of that, I didn't know this either, but Adam Wainwright is coming back next year to pitch for the Cardinals.
Yes.
I thought he was hanging it up.
18 season.
He's coming back.
Interesting.
So, and then Skip Schumacher is the new manager in Florida for the Marlins.
Interesting.
Yeah, he's the new manager in Miami. And David Stearns, the GM for the Brewers, has stepped down. And Matt Arnold is the new GM in Milwaukee. So I don't know if that's because the Brewers fell apart. They were the hot team in the beginning of the season. They fell apart down the stretch.
I wonder if the Brewers fall apart.
Yeah. It's the NL Central. I didn't say that out loud, did I? Anyway, but yes, I mean it comes down to that. The National Hockey League, as you can see, I'm wearing my Lightning hat. The Lightning won last night over the Kings, over the Ducks. The Kings, they lost to the night before.
Who would have thought that coming? Anaheim stinks.
Yeah, well, they do. They're not. They're horrible.
They're a ways away.
Yeah,
well, they're young. They're a young team. I mean, they have a lot of young up and coming stars. Troy Terry, one of them. They've got a lot of up and coming youth. They remind me a lot of the Wings and the Senators from a few years ago when they were down. But sooner or later, that young talent will mature, and then all hell will break loose. They say.
You get a couple of veterans in there. You get those young guys. Get a couple of experience. You get a couple of veterans, and Josh Gibson's a good goalie.
And the Ducks, I mean, they've won a Stanley Cup. The Ducks have won a cup, so I mean, they're not chasing. I mean, obviously, every team is chasing the cup. We all know that. Every team chases the Stanley Cup when it's all said and done. And there are teams out there that don't have one. Still don't have one.
Like the Senators.
And I think
Who beat it? Who lost to Anaheim?
Lost Anaheim in the Stanley Cup final. That is correct.
Indeed.
Was it the last Canadian team to win was Montreal in 1993, right?
Yep.
Correct. I was this many years old.
So let's mark this as 20 years this year that they don't win a cup either.
30.
Canadian 30 years. The Canadian franchise has not won a Stanley
30
Cup.
years. I was young then too.
I was this many years old.
93, I was 10.
I've seen one Canadian team win the cup.
I was 23.
I'm okay with this. I've seen my team win it 4 times.
And I was in Arizona when they won the actually no, I think I came home from Arizona by the time the cup final started. Actually.
We've all seen our teams win the cup, and Canada hasn't.
Yeah.
I've seen my team win it 3 times in my lifetime.
Yeah.
I got 4.
3 times in my life. How many times, Lou, have the Rangers won?
In my lifetime,
Mm-hmm.
1.
Then what?
94.
94.
Okay.
They beat Pat Verbeek and then Vancouver Canucks.
And the Canucks.
Not Pat Verbeek. Sorry.
By the Canucks.
The old school Canucks jerseys, the black and.
That's why I've seen them lose.
Those god awful teams.
I see them lose in 2014. The Kings.
The Kings?
Yep, I've seen them.
Here's the interesting thing. You're going to love this. All right. They won the cup on June 14th, 1994. They lost the cup on the same day 20 years later. Go figure that out.
Against the Kings.
Yes.
In 6 games, right? Correct me if I'm wrong. Was it in
5.
6?
5.
5 games.
5.
5.
But think about that. They won the Stanley Cup and they lost it on the same day 20 years later.
Well, that was a cool Stanley Cup because that was the battle of the 2 biggest TV markets in the United States.
Yes.
Against each other, LA and New York. So that was cool.
And they still didn't draw.
How they had that Stanley Cup that year.
Yeah, I saw that goal in double overtime. My God.
I was up watching that. I have
So was I.
My roommate's dad's a
Disgusting.
big Rangers fan. I message him like, "Oh, sorry." He's like, "Oh, no, it is what it is." I'm like,
Yeah. 12:41 a.m. on that morning.
LA's the cup staying in Los Angeles. The cup staying on the West Coast.
Yeah.
But speaking of
Yeah,
that,
I would-
Phil Kessel breaks the
Yep.
NHL record. He hasn't missed a game in
Yeah.
13 years.
The Iron Man of hockey. Okay,
Yeah.
he's not Cal Ripken, but so what?
It's funny. Last year, Keith Yandel said it.
Yeah.
And now it was like a record that had stood for like 40 some odd years, and it's fallen in twice in as many years.
Go figure.
All he does is play, man. Eats hot dogs and plays hockey.
Yeah.
Gotta love it.
Sometimes simultaneously.
I know, right?
Yeah.
So how are your Rangers looking? How are you feeling about them Rangers?
Not good right now. I mean, they started out good the first week, and now they just ugh. Ever since they lost in that overtime game last week, they haven't really won a game. And they lost in a shootout last night.
Mm.
No, on Tuesday night they lost in a shootout. And last night they lost to the – I'm not going to mention the team's name.
Islanders.
Thanks.
3-0 shutout.
3-0 shootout.
Mm.
I read that earlier today.
Yeah.
They lost to Columbus on Sunday, 5-1.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Lost 3 in a row.
No, I don't know what we're doing tonight. I haven't been following, but we're in Boston. I think we're in Boston.
But I'll check the scoreboard for you.
I'll put the scores later, like I always do.
Oh, we got the Sabres and Senators
Ooh.
playing each other.
Papers are a joke.
And not a funny one.
No.
Well, and Brad Marchand's back with the Bruins.
Yeah, he's back tonight.
Back a month earlier than was expected.
The rat has returned.
So you want to call Dominic Hasek out of retirement?
Yep. The rat is back.
At this point, I think he can't be much worse. at like 106.
Boston is up 5-1 in the third period.
Jesus.
Game over.
Philadelphia is beating Florida 4-3. Ottawa's down 3-1 to Minnesota in the third. Montreal is 2-1 over Buffalo. St. Louis is up 2-1 over Nashville.
Sabres haven't done jack since the Hodgkick was in the Stanley Cup final.
Well, man, I remember them when they had Daniel Briere and Evgeny Maximoff, and they were a good team with Ryan Miller.
Yeah. I know you're gonna say there was no goal. Skate was in the crease. I know.
No goal.
Yeah, but the ref was like, "Look, I haven't made love to my wife in 3 days. I'm gonna go home. I'm done." All right. Oh, yuck.
Well, I know we're losing 5-1, and I'll watch the highlights later. But
Yeah.
we weren't supposed to beat Boston. We lost Brad.
That's what I just said. Oh boy, Apple. Oh, dear. Well, that's what happened to me last week. I mean, we lost the audio, and I lost the last 5 minutes of the show. Well, it's been losing a whole hour.
Right.
Sorry about that.
And he's back.
Yeah. So, but I forgot to.
Yeah, he had to pay his internet bill real quick.
Or the whole electric bill. Oh boy.
Oh, now he's froze.
See what happens? You don't pay electric bill, boys and girls.
Turn your power out.
Yeah.
Well, at least he's in Florida, so you don't have to worry about getting cold.
No.
Well, except maybe in January.
Sometimes.
Yeah, especially in northern Florida.
Yes. The Panhandle, it snows.
I would say it snowed in Pensacola in 2013 when I was there. 2014.
Yep. It snows up there in the Panhandle.
Yeah.
That was bizarre. That was a
If
bizarre
anyone
day.
has Mark Andrews on their fantasy team, he just left with a shoulder injury.
Oops.
Ugh.
Anyone
The
out
tight
there
end for
who
the
has
Ravens?
Mark Andrews on their fantasy team.
Bye-bye.
I think I have it. So should we go to college football now?
Why not?
I was just gonna get to that. That's where I was gonna go next. So
Sorry, guys. I'm over here laughing at my dog.
Oh.
She's looking at my laptop, right?
Mhm.
And moving her head from side to side, like. She's
So
trying to figure out what the heck.
we can start with an article that was on Google that happened to be my article.
Yeah.
It was the third article down when you Google Jeff.
Jeff Scott, yeah.
That's great.
That hasn't
It's a
happened.
great
very
article.
often. It's cool that it did.
It's a very well written article, if I may say so.
You can't. Thank you. You can't imagine the comments I've gotten on that article.
I've seen some of the comments you've gotten.
From how nuts
Pretty
I
interesting.
am, how crazy I am.
Mm-hmm.
I must be smoking marijuana. I must be smoking illegal drugs.
Uh-oh.
Why should he come back? He's only won 4 games. I said, first of all, if USF wants to build an on-campus stadium, they have to buy him out. He's not going to just walk away. And second of all, who are you going to get to replace him? Oh, let's
Right.
bring Meyer here. Why? He's not going to come here.
How?
Steve Spurrier. No, he's in
Steve
retirement.
Steve Spurrier?
You know what? Let's be logic. Let's get Coach Ogier on. Let's get him here.
Yeah.
You're not going to get a big name coach here. You're not. You're gonna
Right?
get
I mean,
right now, you're going to get a coordinator that wants to be a head coach. That's what you're going to get. Plain and simple.
well, let's look at it logically. USF is a jobber to the stars.
Mhm.
And they the problem is that they don't recruit. They're. This was 2-3 years ago now. I think it was 2019, and I was watching the USF game against UCF, and they were talking about the fact that they had like some 90 scholarship kids, and like 83 of them were from Florida. And the problem is that they're not getting anybody worth having from Florida.
No.
They all anybody that's a 3-star or better is gonna anybody with the academic acumen to go to a Florida State, UCF, Miami are gonna go there.
Right.
And USF is a jobber to the stars. And if you get rid of Jeff Scott, who are you gonna get? And how and like you said, you're gonna have to you want that big on campus stadium, and that's gonna run you tens of millions of dollars.
Correct.
Ballpark $50 million for a decent stadium.
I think they said, but it was going to be around $200 to $300 million.
Good Lord, $200 million, and who you have to find somebody that can recruit out west in the Northeast. They can recruit upper New York, Pennsylvania. They can get some 2- and 3-star recruits that aren't academically eligible or athletically inclined enough to go to a Penn State or a Rutgers or a Maryland. And, you're not going to be battling Florida, Georgia, Alabama, Tennessee, Texas, Michigan, Ohio State. You have to concede where you can't get kids, and look for kids that are looking either to get away from home or that are looking to get, that don't want a winner in Wyoming. Those are the kids that you're gonna have that are going to be available to you, that are going to be at least better than what you have.
Correct. Yep, I agree with that.
And then you have to have a coach that has a scheme, and they can take lesser talent and develop it. Take your no stars, your 1 stars, your 2 stars, and turn them into NFL caliber talent.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
And who is that coordinator that is out there right now that is good enough to want a head coaching a job, but not good enough to get a better head coaching job?
Right.
Like, is there a coordinator out there that would jump ship from a Clemson or a Florida or a TCU that would want to give up that spot and take the USF job to get a head coaching gig? Because the problem is that UCF, again, I know I've said it twice already, but I'm going to say it again, they're a jobber to the stars. And they're going to UCF is a launching pad for a career. Yes. You don't go to UCF to win championships. You go to UCF to go 5-7, 6-6, 7-5, and get a better gig. You go from being at a UTSA, you being the offensive coordinator at UTSA, take the head coaching job at USF, so that when a Nebraska comes available, you can take that job. Or if a Indiana comes available or Wisconsin comes available, some of those mid-level, not top tier but not yet bottom tier jobs comes available, you can move on. It's the Urban Meyer route. You take the Bowling Green job so you can get the Utah job, so you can get the Florida job, so you can get the OSU job, right? That's the USF career plan, right? It's you take that job so that you can take a better job so that you can get the best jobs.
Right. Yep. I agree with that. So, guys, here is the each top 10 scariest game left on the schedule. This is from 24/7 Sports. So I'm going to start.
Everyone, every game. No, I mean every game from here on out, unless you're Notre Dame, is a conference game.
Right.
The first one Georgia in a couple weeks will have to play Tennessee.
Yes.
So that's going to be that's the scariest game left on their schedule.
Yeah.
Right.
Ohio State, Michigan, November 26th.
Hmm.
That's the scariest game left on their schedule.
Right.
We still have to play Iowa. We still play, or not Iowa, Illinois. We have to play Michigan State. We have to play.
They have Clemson against South Carolina, November 26th. So that's the day after. That's Thanksgiving weekend. Alabama at LSU, November 5th. That's a couple weeks away.
Yep.
TCU at Baylor on November 19th for the Horned Frogs. Oregon, Utah, November 19th. That'll be a great football game.
Should be a good one.
Both teams. Oklahoma State, Oklahoma, November 19th. That's the scariest on their schedule. USC has UCLA, November 19th. Those are rivals. That's a rival game. Wake Forest and North Carolina. North Carolina beat, or was it Duke that beat Miami last week? I think it was Duke.
Duke beat Miami. Yep.
Yeah, those are the top, the ones that the top 10 teams. Those are the scariest games on their docket the rest of the way. So let's guys go back and look at. I think Ohio State moved into number 1. Correct me if I'm wrong.
Georgia's number 1.
Or number 1. Okay, you're still number 1. Okay. So here, week
Georgia.
8 in college football last week. Top 25. Ohio State blows out Iowa 54-10. Tennessee blew out UT Martin 65-24. Clemson survives a scare against Syracuse 27-21. Alabama beats Mississippi State 30-6. LSU upsets Ole Miss 45-20. TCU beats Kansas State.
Mm-hmm.
I guess Brad's auditioning for the new the new Frozen movie.
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
Am I frozen again?
You're back.
Wake Forest won 43-15 over Boston College. Penn State beat Minnesota 45-17 in the whiteout game. Cincinnati beat SMU 29-27. And Tulane beat Memphis 38-28. That is the top 25 from last week. So let me. Why is my internet going out?
And if we have time, I got something I want to get your take on there, Mr. Sports Nerd.
Fire away.
I'm going to give you the top 5 in the Heisman Watch, and you tell me if you agree with it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Number 1, we got Hendon Hooker from Tennessee.
Okay.
Number 2 is C.J. Strauss.
Ohio State.
Number 3 is Bryce Young.
Naturally.
Number 4 is Cabe Williams. I'm sorry. And number 5 is Blake Corum.
Corum, yes.
No, I'd agree with those 5. I think the kid from Ohio State's going to win it when it's all
Not
set.
if we have anything to say about it.
I hope not, but that's how I see it going. Hopefully, it doesn't end like that. But
I would put Bijan Robinson at number 5, and that quarterback from TCU at number 3.
Nope.
It could be Hendon Hooker for all I know too. Tennessee really is the real deal. That's not a
so far.
Yeah, but his odds though are plus 200, and Bryce Young is at plus 2,500.
It's a bet. It's a bet.
Is at 1,100, and Blake is at 1,200.
Well, again, there's some games that are still left for all 5 of those guys. let's see how they survive those 5. Because
Yep.
Ohio State still got Michigan.
We gotta play State this week, and
Tennessee
it's
got Georgia yet. So
and
yeah,
the
they
SEC
beat
championship game.
Michigan State.
Yeah, correct.
Michigan State is going to be a tough. Is going to be a tough run for Michigan.
Always. Give us fits every year. For the last 3 years, we haven't beat them. We gotta get you to buckle down.
Yeah.
Blake Corum's gotta have himself a game. 20 touches, 200 yards, 3 touchdowns.
So here is this week's top 25. I'll start with actually. It looks like tonight there's 2 teams that are in the top 25 that are playing right now.
Yep.
Are going to play later. NC State's up 3-0 over Vautech right now. Number 24.
Okay.
Wolfpack are up 3-0. At 10 o'clock this evening, you have the Utah Utes on the road in Washington State. The Utes are a 7-point favorite with the over-under being 56 and a hook.
Playing Washington State.
Playing Washington State, correct.
I like the Utes.
I'll take Utah. I'll take Utah. I saw Utah play the Gators this year. So I'm assuming College Game Day is going to be in Pennsylvania this week as Ohio State visits Penn State in Happy Valley.
They are.
Can be unhappy Valley.
6.5-point favorite with the over-under being
All right,
60.
Lou. Lou said Penn State's going to be unhappy in Happy Valley.
That's most likely. I mean,
Yeah.
it would be great to see them knock Ohio State off.
They are in Jackson.
Oh, they're in Jackson. Okay.
No, that's Florida and Georgia is going to be in Jackson.
Oh, yeah. They're in the biggest outdoor cocktail party. So you guys like Ohio State? Well, I know Lou does. He already mentioned that. So
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, give me Ohio State.
okay. Do they cover? I mean, you think they'll cover?
It's a romp. It's a walk.
Walk. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The next game at 12 o'clock on Saturdays in Morgantown, as the undefeated Horned Frogs visit West Virginia. TCU's a 7.5-point favorite with the over/under being 68 and a hook.
Give me the frogs, the hook, and the under, or the points in the over.
Yeah.
Okay.
This is going to be my upset game of the week. I'm taking Kansas State. I think Kansas State's going to upset TCU.
That was last week.
They're in West Virginia.
They promised
Okay, well then give me TCU.
Okay. The next one is Notre Dame on the road in Syracuse to play the Orangemen. Syracuse is a 2-point favorite, over under 48.
You know, I think I might take Notre Dame with that one.
Notre Dame.
I like the Orange. They should have beat Clemson last week.
I'm going Syracuse.
Syracuse. Okay, me too. Yes, the next game is the outdoor cocktail party as the number 1 Bulldogs will host their Florida Gators. That is actually, a lot of people don't know that's actually our rival game every year is Georgia. The Bulldogs are a 22.5-point favorite with the over-under being 56.5.
Georgia all the way.
You said 22?
22.5. Yep.
Florida covers.
Okay. Yeah, I'm going to take Georgia. I don't know. It just depends on which Florida team shows up. The Florida team shows up that played Utah and Tennessee, outside chance of winning the game. But if we have the team that showed up against USF and a couple of the other games, and the one that showed up against Missouri, we're in
Kentucky.
trouble. We're in trouble. So I'll be watching.
Yeah, if that Kentucky team shows up, you guys get destroyed.
Correct. The next game, guys, is in Berkeley as the number 8 Ducks head to California to play the Bears. Oregon is Oregon. Quack. 17.
Yeah.
58.5 for the Ducks.
Yep, Ducks.
That's okay.
Ducks.
Oklahoma State is on the road to play Kansas State. The Jayhawks are a 1.5 point favorite with the over-under being 56. Not
Okay,
the Jayhawks, excuse me. I got the wrong team. The Wildcats. Excuse me.
this is my upset pick. Kansas State is going to beat Oklahoma State.
Okay.
Okay.
They're at home. They're at home. K-State.
Give me the Pokes.
Okay. The next one, guys, is in Louisville as the Demon Deacons head to play the Cardinals. Wake is a 4-point favorite with the over-under being 64.
Demon Deacons.
Give me the Deacons.
Deacons.
I have a funny feeling Wake Forest is going to play themselves into the ACC championship game later this year.
Very well could.
The way that they've been playing.
You get a rematch with Clemson?
That could be. They almost beat Clemson, correct?
They did.
Yeah.
Should have. Could have, would have, should have.
I wouldn't be surprised. The next one, guys, is in Lincoln as the number 17 Illini are on the road against the Cornhuskers. Illinois is a 7.5 point favorite with the over-under being 50.5.
Nebraska.
Illinois.
Okay. Their coach violated a recruiting commitment.
Who's coach? Nebraska's
head coach. Yep.
Give me Illinois.
I'm going to take the Illini as well. Yep.
There's a lot of Illini football this year. I like the Fighting Illini. Give me the Illini.
The next one has the number 21 Bearcats on the road in the bounce house in Orlando to face UCF. The Knights are a 1.5 point favorite with the over-under being 55.
Cincy.
Yeah, I like the Knights.
Yeah, I go Knights.
UCF, okay.
Since that's one of Bradley's teams.
Ugh. Don't even talk about UCF.
Yeah.
Gives me a headache to think about that.
Kind of like Rutgers.
I take Cincinnati. UCF's had some questionable games this year, so we'll see. We'll see. But I'm going to take the Bearcats. I know they're on the road, and they're not as good as they were a year ago. Cincinnati is a very vulnerable team than they were last year. The next one is in Columbia as Missouri heads to South Carolina to play the Gamecocks. South Carolina is a 3.5 point favorite with the over-under being 45.5.
I'll take Missouri.
Yeah, I like Missouri too.
Missouri. Okay. Yep, I'll agree with that. I think Missouri will get a win and get to 4-4 and 2-3 in the conference. Here's a matchup. Now, we were talking earlier about Kentucky. They're on the road to face the Volunteers. The Vols are a 12-point favorite with the over-under being 61.
Tennessee,
okay.
If it was basketball, I would take Kentucky, but this is football. I'm taking Tennessee.
Tennessee, okay.
My upset special of the week. Give me Kentucky.
Yeah, I think Kentucky plays them tough. I can see Tennessee winning, but I think Kentucky covers the spread. I don't see them winning by 12. I think it's going to be a lot closer than people predicted out to be. The next game has a number 10 USC Trojans in Arizona to play the Wildcats. USC's at 15. Okay. The over-under is 76.5. That's a lot of points.
I'm taking USC.
USC?
Yep.
Okay. And speaking of Michigan State, Michigan, that's the 7:30 p.m. game on ABC.
Michigan.
The Wolverines are a 22.5 point favorite with the over-under being 55.
Michigan, the Spartans are a joke this year. Ugh.
I go with the Wolverines too.
I'm gonna be sick.
I think this is going to be Michigan's. I think Michigan's going to get their revenge this year. Finally win one. I'm going Michigan.
Yeah.
Good luck, Adam. Good luck.
Yeah, Michigan, but we don't cover.
Check. All right.
It's a night game.
Tonight game, and the temperature looks like it's going to be 54 degrees in Ann Arbor at kickoff.
Not
according
bad
to
for
that
like
Google.
October.
Yeah.
What channel is that game going to be on?
ABC.
ABC.
Channel 7 ABC here.
The next one has the number 15 Rebels on the road in College Station to play the Aggies. Ole Miss is a 1.5-point favorite with the over/under being 54 and a hook.
Ole Miss.
Ole Miss. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like the
They
Rebels.
was in trouble because they got violated.
I like Ole
They
Miss.
really did.
The 8 o'clock game has Pittsburgh on the road in Chapel Hill to play the Tar Heels. North Carolina is a 3-point favorite with the over/under being 65.5.
I'll take that.
NC?
Yeah, let's see. Mac Brown's still doing a good job in North Carolina. I'm taking North Carolina.
Who was it? North Carolina and who?
Pittsburgh.
Yeah, give me North Carolina.
Okay. And the final top 25 game has Stanford on the road in Pasadena. Six and a half.
Okay, who's
UCLA.
that? You froze up again there, Brad.
Stanford and UCLA.
I'm taking UCLA.
UCLA.
I'm taking the Bruins.
Bruins, okay.
Bruins.
Let me look at something real quick here.
Mm-hmm.
I haven't looked at the line for the USF game. I know it starts at noon. Let's see what the
Now,
line is.
UCF. That's Cal Fullerton, right?
I'm sorry?
That's Cal Fullerton, right? UCF?
No, that's Stanford and UCLA.
No, I'm
Yeah.
talking about the UCF.
No, UCF
University
is
of
Central Florida.
Okay.
University of Central Florida is UCF. The South Florida game, the Cougars, they're playing Houston. Cougars are a 17.5-point favorite with the over/under being 60.5. Houston will. I don't know if they'll cover, but I know they'll win. Houston will win that football game.
Yeah.
Houston all the way.
Lou, who does Rutgers won last week, right?
Yeah, against Indiana.
Mm.
They're on the road in Minnesota, and the Golden Gophers are a 14-point favorite.
Really?
40.5.
Rutgers covers.
Rutgers
I
covers.
agree. I think Rutgers does cover.
Yeah. Rutgers.
Minnesota hasn't. Didn't they lose their quarterback?
Yeah, they did, and they didn't look good against Penn State last week.
Okay. Which means
I like
now it's to go to the National Football League. Game going on right now. I turned my Amazon off, guys. I thought maybe it was affecting my internet, but obviously it's not because I'm still cutting out. As of right now, they're about to go to the half, and the Bucks are up 10-3. Before they go into the half.
Come on, Ravens.
Okay.
The Bucks look pretty good on defense, which is something that you don't get to hear.
Marked improvement.
Yeah,
Marked
very often
improvement.
this year. Especially since they're missing Winfield Jr., they're missing Murphy Bunting, they're missing Jamel Dean, so they're missing half of their secondary. And they're still able to hold everything down. Pete Carroll came out, guys, before we get into the scores and stuff.
Yeah, I heard.
Carroll came out and said something about that all NFL teams need to seriously look into grass turf instead of having the solid turf. He feels that there's more injuries.
I agree.
I agree too.
The math says so.
It's from non-contact injuries.
Yeah.
So how do you explain? I mean, and they said, "Oh, it's safer than to use." How can you explain that when there's 20% that even come from non-contact injuries? It's safer than the term of safer than use me. I don't think so.
Right. Let's take a look back, guys, at last week. The Thursday night game, the Cardinals beat the Saints 42-34. I think Andy Dalton had back-to-back pick sixes.
And that was the difference in the game.
That's the difference in the game. Cincinnati beat Atlanta 35-17. Joe Burrow had a great football game.
And that was the difference in that game.
Yeah. The Cowboys beat the Lions 24-6. Dak Prescott comes back.
No surprise. We played the Lions. Come on now.
Right.
Tennessee beat the Colts 19-10. Titans sweep the Colts for the second straight season, so they've already played each other twice.
How can we think Ryan got benched and Ellinger's coming in?
Yep.
Correct. The Commanders upset the Packers 23-21.
Did not see that one coming.
The Panthers upset the Bucks 21-3. That was another one. That was a horrible football game by the Bucks overall. The New York Giants just don't go away, man.
No, they just keep coming.
Jaguars, yeah.
They're like a bad cold. You can try anything to make it go away, but it won't.
Yep.
5-1.
NyQuil.
Right, yeah. 6-1, 3-0. They're 3-0 on the road. The Giants are 3-0 away from the Meadowlands. That's amazing that you could say they're 3-0. The Ravens beat the Browns 23-20. The Jets beat the Broncos 16-9. So the Jets are 5-2 and 4-0 on the road. So both New York teams do well outside the Meadowlands.
Yeah, but the Jets suffered some good injuries, so it might be a little bit hard now.
But they got a running back in return though from Jacksonville. So
yeah, I like that running. I like that. I think they had though.
Yeah.
The Jets going to be the number 5 seed in the playoffs. They're going to be a wild card team.
Okay.
The Raiders beat the Texans 38-20. Seattle beat. I was going to say San Diego. I get caught saying that all the time. Los Angeles 37-23. The Chiefs beat the 49ers 44-23.
No, it wasn't even.
Tua came back, won 16-10 over the Steelers. And then on the Monday night, the Bears beat the Patriots 33-14. So that is that. And then here are the Week 8 matchups real quick. Obviously, the game is going on right now between the Bucks and the Ravens. All right, so we'll start with the London game on Sunday morning at 9:30. The Broncos are playing Jacksonville, a battle of 2 and 5 teams. The Jaguars are a 2.5-point favorite with the over-under being 39.5.
I'm taking the Jags on that one.
And I'm taking the Jags too.
Yep,
Broncos.
like that.
And as a note, that game is on ESPN this week.
Correct. That is correct.
ESPN Plus.
No, that's right. It's on ESPN Plus.
Right. The next game is Carolina on the road in Atlanta. The Falcons are a 4-point favorite with the over-under being 41.
I'm taking the Falcons.
The Falcons.
Dirty Birds.
The next game, the Chicago Bears are on the road in Dallas. The Cowboys are a 9.5-point favorite with the over-under being 42.5.
Cowboys.
Cowboys.
Boys.
Okay. The next game is at Ford Field. The Dolphins come into town. They're a 3.5-point favorite with the over-under being 51.5.
Dolphins.
To get right game. Dolphins.
Okay.
The quick cure for what else? You played it right.
The next game, the Arizona Cardinals are on the road in Minnesota. The Vikings are a 3.5-point favorite with the over-under being 49.
Vikings.
Vikings.
Vikings, okay. The next game is the Raiders on the road in New Orleans. The Raiders are a 1.5-point favorite with the over-under being 49.
Raiders.
Raiders, okay. The next game is the 1 o'clock as the Patriots visit MetLife Stadium against the Jets. The Pats are a 2.5-point favorite with the over-under being 40. Surprised that they're the favorite. Yeah, that's interesting that the Jets are the underdog in that game.
I'm going Jets.
New England.
Yeah, I got to take the Patriots. I can't. If what's his name Zappy gets in the game, it's going to be interesting.
Yeah.
A battle of Pennsylvania. The Steelers are on the road in Philadelphia. The Eagles are an 11-point favorite with the over-under being 43.
Eagles.
Eagles.
Okay. Yeah, I can agree with that. The 4 o'clock slate starts with Tennessee on the road in Houston. The Titans are a 2.5-point favorite with the over-under being 40.5.
Titans.
Texans. Titans. Sorry, Titans.
I'm taking the Titans.
Okay. Let's see something here. The next game has the Washington Commanders on the road in Indianapolis to play the Colts. The Colts are a 3-point favorite with the over-under being 39.5.
Colts.
This is my upset special of the week. Give me the Commanders.
I'm taking the Colts.
The next game is a NFC West battle as the 49ers travel to Inglewood to play the Rams. San Francisco is a 1.5-point favorite with the over-under being 42.5.
Niners.
49ers.
Niners.
Niners, okay. All right. The next game has the New York Giants on the road in Seattle. The Seahawks are a 3-point favorite with the over-under being 44.5.
Seahawks.
Giants.
I'm taking the Giants. I think they're a good team on the road.
They're a very good team on the road.
So I'll
But
take
Geno Smith is looking pretty good.
True. I mean, the Seahawks are 4-3, so they have a winning record. The Sunday night game is a good one in Orchard Park as the Packers come to town to play Buffalo. The Bills are an 11-point favorite with the over-under being 47.5.
Bills.
I agree. And the Monday night game is a battle of Ohio as the Bengals travel to Cleveland to play the Browns. The Bengals are a 3-point favorite with the over-under being 45.
Where the
Bengals.
Bengals and the Bengals are going to get their Halloween candy that night.
It's true. It is Halloween. The bye week is for Kansas City and the Chargers.
Okay.
So those are the bye week teams. I don't know. I just read something too, guys. Jim Nantz is retiring from being a broadcaster after the 2023 March Madness.
Yeah.
So he's hanging
Okay.
it. So
Yeah, he's
being
been
that
at it
I'm
for a long time.
being that I'm a huge golf guy, Jim Nantz has been a huge announcer for the PGA Tour for a long time. So he will be missed. That's one of those.
Indeed.
He'll be missed. But yeah, he announced that he is leaving broadcasting after the 2023 March Madness is when his last go around. With that, well, I was going to say, guys, when the USF season ends, I'm going to focus on college hockey. So if any of you guys know anything about that, let me know.
Okay.
Do you live up in that area in the Northeast? But I'm going to focus on college hockey. So my articles will be about college hockey because I'm trying to get credentials to the Frozen Four. So that's
Maine and BU, Maine and Boston University are like the top in the East, really. And you get them from
I think Minnesota, is the top team right now. I could be wrong.
Too
Not sure.
bad Texas didn't have a hockey team.
I'm sure they do. USF has a hockey team.
I'm talking about the Longhorns. They don't have a hockey team.
Right.
Damn.
And I got a question for you, Brad.
Yes, sir.
What do you get out of hitting a little white ball into a hole in the ground?
Wow, I've been asked that question a bunch of times in my life.
Where's the competitiveness in that?
The competitiveness, it depends on who you're playing against. If you're playing against somebody who's better than you, you're out there trying to beat them.
Yeah, but hitting a poor little ball into a hole in the ground?
I've been at the game for over 34 years, so I can't, it's something I can't just put away.
Can't explain it. It's fun.
But I know it's a good stress reliever.
I go to the driving range when I'm stressed out. That's the number one thing I do. But yeah, it's not for everybody. I don't ever push it upon anybody.
I try to watch it one day, and I'm like,
it's boring to watch on TV unless you know who the players are. I wouldn't recommend you watching it on TV unless it's the majors. It's the majors and it's like the Ryder Cup. That's a different story. But watching golf, week after week, forget about it. It's not worth it. If
No.
you're not a golf fan outright, you'll fall asleep. It's a nap fest. It's a nap
Hey,
fest.
give me my football, wrestling, NASCAR, and some baseball. I'm cool.
Baseball. I mean, I think the playoffs for MLB has been great. I think it's what baseball needed, especially after the season starting later, the strike happening. They needed some excitement. But Rob Manfred's still the worst commissioner in all sports. So
And the only time I really watch
by far and away.
in college basketball, if I do watch it, is during the playoffs and during March Madness.
Yep. And we'll be talking once we get closer and closer to March. We'll go through the bracket. Like I said, we've gone through them, and usually by like day 2 or 3, our brackets are busted. Someone's been upset that we didn't expect to be upset.
You can take your bracket and go like,
Yeah, that's it.
You see this bracket right here?
Yeah,
That's what you can do with it.
you do with it. Yeah,
right?
you're right. That's
So the top college hockey top 5 is Minnesota, St. Cloud, Denver, Michigan, and UMass.
UMass.
See, I have to write about everybody but what was called Northeast hockey. Lou, correct me if I'm wrong. John, what's his last name? Doucette. He's covering that portion of it. I'm going to cover whatever's left. I have to cover 5 of the different leagues. So I'm going to do my research. I don't even know where I can even watch college hockey. I don't really know where.
Big Ten Network.
Big Ten. Well, I'll have to take a look at that.
CBS Sports carries it every now and again.
Yeah.
Okay.
ESPN.
I'll have to kind of mark that down on my calendar to make sure that I watch a lot of college hockey so that
college hockey is awesome.
If I do get credentials to the Frozen Four, at least I know when I go there, I know what I'm talking about.
Now y'all going to have to help me with that March Madness bracket because this is going to be my first one.
Oh, gee.
No problem.
We all need help with our March Madness bracket because, yeah.
Well, I mean, if you guys want to, we can watch the preview of who the experts think is going to go through. We can do like we do the draft. We can sit in one show just about the March Madness preview.
Yeah, absolutely.
Watch it together, and we don't like that pick, or we don't like this pick. We can go through it like that if you guys want.
Well, you got your Blue Bloods, you got Duke, you got North Carolina, you got Kentucky, you got Kansas.
You got the Longhorns.
Texas. Texas is hit and miss.
Yeah, that's true. We are hit and miss in March Madness.
In March Madness. Indiana, Michigan, Ohio State, USC every now and again.
Florida every now and again.
And then you've got like the little schools like the Shockers.
Wichita State.
Thank you. That's who I was trying to come up with.
They're in the American, by the way.
Right.
They're in the American. Yep.
Because y'all notice this.
They have no football team.
Every March Madness, Texas plays so good until they get to that final 8 or 16 teams.
On the 32. This is where
and they blow it.
Mm-hmm. If they talk about a team that misses KD.
Yeah.
We really do miss them.
College basketball is interesting because you play 35, 40 games, and it all comes down to one shot. And you're playing a Richmond or what was that, Florida Gulf Coast.
Yep.
You catch Florida Gulf Coast or Oral Roberts on a bad night, and you get beat. You play a little. You take a night off, and you play sloppy, and you get beat.
That goes back to what you were saying, Adam. Any given Saturday, any given Sunday,
any given night,
any given game.
Yep. You scrap and you claw and you fight, and at the end of the day, it's Kansas. It's always Kansas.
They won last year, did they not? They won.
They did. In dramatic comeback fashion, down 16 at the half, and I went to bed think this game's a snooze.
Don't forget about Gonzaga either.
Gonzaga's always an
were
Elite
that
Eight team.
They were that team that no one wanted. That was the shocking team, the Cinderella team. Now they're one of the top teams in the country.
You also have Texas Tech is always if they make the tournament, they're a tough out. VCU, Virginia Commonwealth, they're a tough out.
Villanova,
yep. George Mason.
Here's the top 25.
Marquette.
This is off of NCAA's website. So these are the top 25 teams, preseason top 25. They have North Carolina, Gonzaga, Houston, Kentucky, Baylor, Kansas, Duke, UCLA, Creighton, Arkansas, Tennessee, Texas, Indiana, TCU, Auburn, Villanova, Arizona, Virginia, San Diego State, Alabama, Oregon, Michigan, Illinois, Dayton, and Texas Tech. Round out.
What's Texas ranked at?
12th in the preseason.
Don't sleep on Michigan State. Don't sleep on Ohio State. You gotta watch out.
Well, here, guys, were teams that also received votes.
Right.
Texas A&M, UConn, Miami. That's the Hurricanes. Purdue, St. Louis, Michigan State, Florida State, Xavier, Wyoming, Ohio State, Iowa, Rutgers, Florida, USC, Toledo, Vautech, Memphis, Notre Dame, and UAB were the ones that also received votes to be in the top 25. So there are writers that voted them in.
That would be the UAB writer. So
UAB, right? Yeah. One UAB writer voted in Alabama, Birmingham into the top 25.
Right. But I mean, and that's the fun thing about March Madness is every game's a dogfight. Every game you gotta bring it. You gotta be ready. You take a night off and you're Virginia'd. You get Virginia'd.
Yep.
You sleep. You think you can sleepwalk through the first round, and you're Michigan State versus Virginia Commonwealth, or not Virginia, Florida Gulf Coast. You're a 15. You're a 2, and you're a 15, and you're going home.
Yep.
Kentucky last year, they thought they had it all. They were shoo-ins to win it all.
Yeah.
That was bad.
Shoo-ins to win it all. They had it in the bag, right?
Yep. Nope.
Ohio State got beat by Oral Roberts. I mean, they got beat by one guy. I mean, figure that one out, right? Oral Roberts? Who is he?
Yeah. Somebody say a prayer for that one.
Yeah, I write my own jokes. I'm sorry.
Well, gentlemen, we have reached the end of the show. So if anybody wants to plug their shows, go right ahead. I'll leave the floor to you guys.
All right. In-Hand Sports Show, Saturdays now, 4 to 6 p.m. Eastern Time. Number is still the same, 512-543-4662. Cost you $2.50 the first minute, $1.50 every minute after that. No.
No, yeah. Well, if you call collect, you can get it. If you use AT&T, you can get it for 99 cents.
Why do I let myself into this? Okay.
Oh wow, Kevin's gonna drill you now for putting that out there.
I'm sorry.
Kevin's gonna get you for that one, Lou.
Oh boy. Okay. So anyway, 512-543-4662. We're gonna cover the World Series, college football and pro football picks. We'll look at the injury reports. Also gonna look at the trades because the trade deadline is Tuesday.
Mm-hmm.
So you might keep your eye on that for sure. That's some NBA. There's some college basketball news that's in the works, so we'll take a look at that, especially on the women's side, because I think UConn, the women's team, might be in trouble this year. If you find out, I'll explain if you do call in or listen to the show, so you'll know what I mean. And of course, NBA of how the Nets and the Lakers are doing horrible this year, as well as the Sixers. Oh boy, this is gonna be bad this year. So all this and more on the In-Hand Sports Show, Saturday, 4 to 6 p.m. 512-543-4662. I was kidding about that remark before. It's totally free. Believe it.
Mostly.
I have to get out of here. Good night.
Good night.
Anyone else want to talk real quick? No?
Everything I got is kind of on hold at the moment, so if you want, still got the TikTok going. I downloaded last week's show. Been meaning to edit it and get it up on Insta, but I haven't gotten that far. It's been a busy week, so hopefully tomorrow I'll have some time to work on that. So don't forget to check out our Instagram, which is the Walker Report official _official, and then we also have a email address. It's the Walker Report official, all one word, @gmail.com. So comments, questions, concerns. If you'd like to send me better jokes, they're more than welcome.
Or if you want to roast us, tell us what we're doing wrong or right, please write it there. Maybe we can have a segment where we just like everybody roasts us, like
Right?
Oh my God!
everybody roasts us. So
Roast my takes. Tell me how terrible I am.
I don't know where Rich went. He must have left before the end of the show, unless he's still there. I don't know if he's still watching or not.
How do you like your steak? You like it fried or roasted?
Yeah,
I prefer mine reverse seared, medium.
Well, guys, thank everyone for joining us on the Walker Report. We will be back again next Thursday. Obviously, we'll talk about the NFL trade deadline, which is Tuesday. We'll cover everything else. I kind of put everything together throughout the week as things pop up. We have two sponsors, creatingzenspaces.com and garrettscarrots.com. Let me repeat that. That's the website to go on there and that. I'm working on getting a third one. I'll get with her later on about that. The dinner went well last night, meeting up with her. She's a good friend of mine too, which kind of helps. You know, you don't have to be concerned or have to, sell too much into it. But if anyone's interested, like Adam said, we do have an email address. Anybody that wants to, business on here, contact us or contact Kevin. In the zone or anything like that, please contact us. We'll go ahead and make some arrangements for that stuff. But until then, guys, everyone, please stay safe out there. Shout out to our first responders and our men and women of our armed services. Thank you for doing what you guys do. We love you guys so much. We will be back here next week. Until then, guys, everyone have a great end of the week as we head into the weekend, as we end up another month. Monday is Halloween, and it's going to be November already. We're already talking about the holidays are coming.
They are coming fast.
So, everyone be safe. Until then, I'm the Sports Nerd. Peace.
Cut, print, send it.